Good evening, everyone. This is Ann Jansen from Minnesota, along with Karen Lance and Mike Lance, and I welcome you to our Tuesday night training. We do these trainings with short little tidbits of things we've picked up during the week or during the month to help you build your business. So tonight we're going to talk about when and why to introduce LifeWave, because it's sometimes a little difficult to start talking to somebody. So hopefully we can give you a few tips. Take it away, Karen.
Well, thank you, Anne. Yes, for our topic tonight, we want to talk about when and how to introduce LifeWave to others. First of all, let's talk about when. I feel like it's best to do this one-on-one. There's a reason this is called referral marketing or relationship marketing. Now, one exception to that would be, for example, if you have a large meeting setting, specifically where they are coming to learn about LifeWave. I know Anne has done some larger meeting settings. There you're talking about LifeWave in a larger setting. And that is wonderful, perfectly okay. But really, I feel like it's best to do it one-on-one with people because, you are talking about kind of a health issue, and they're more likely to open up to you if you're just one-on-one. So now I just want to tell you a little bit about kind of how I have been introducing LifeWave to other people. And one of the things I like to do is I like to ask open-ended questions. I want to get them talking. So for example, I might say, "Hi, Anne, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been?" And then be quiet, because they're going to start talking to you. And they might say, "Well, I had knee surgery," or, been dealing with these health issues or that. So just let them talk and listen to what they have to say. And then I might say something like, "I have to tell you this. I have come across a new technology that might be of interest to you. Have you ever heard of a company called LifeWave? It is the coolest technology. They make these little patches that activate peptides in our body that make our stem cells work better." I didn't realize, but 30-year-olds have already half their stem cells aren't working very good. And by the time you're 60 or older, 80 to 90% of their stem cells really aren't working very well. And thus the aging process begins. That's kind of how I start to explain LifeWave to them. I'm kind of trying to read their body language and see if they ask more questions. I also like to talk about the science behind the patches, because I think that's super important that they know there's so much science behind it. For example, I would say there's over 80 clinical trials, and the company has over 120 patents on these products. Usually I'll also show them a patch on the back of my neck too. "See this little patch? This is what it looks like." And I just show them, if it's on the back of my neck. I like to talk about David Schmidt, the inventor. I say, "Oh my gosh, this guy is such a genius." He started this company developing a patch for the Navy SEALs like 20 years ago. And so I like to talk a little bit about the credibility of the company. I don't want to vomit all over them with too much information. I feel like it's important we have like a little 2-minute elevator speech to know what to say about the company and the patch, to explain it in a very short, concise way. And then if they seem a little bit interested, I usually try to kind of get out of there, get away. And I say, "You know what? I will send you some information." Or I'll tell you what I did just the other day with one of my clients. I was with this client. I had gone to her house to talk to her about some blinds. And I've known this lady for about 15 years. We had been on some boards together and stuff. And she was telling me, I was at her house for probably 2 hours, and she was telling me a lot of things going on with her. She told me she's extremely sensitive to electromagnetic frequencies, EMF frequencies. And the minute she said that, I thought, "Oh my gosh, this is my opening right here because I know that LifeWave, if you do the X39 and the X49 together, that creates a Faraday cage, which helps to protect our bodies against the EMF frequencies. So I said, Laura, I have to tell you about this. Have you ever heard of a company called LifeWave? Again, I showed her my patch. I talked about that there's some patches that could maybe help and create this Faraday cage. And when I said that to her, she knew exactly what I was talking about. So she was really open to, learning more about it. And, I feel like it's very important that you kind of read people. And if you start to get good at reading people and learning personalities, I know her personality. She's super detail oriented. So I can probably send her a little bit more information than I might the average person, because she is going to eat up every bit of information that I'm sending her. So far, I've only sent her, this is it, info.com. And then I sent her one other hour-long video. And I know she's already watched the hour-long video. So we're going to be chatting more and more about that. But I feel like some of the best prospects for this business, first of all, if they're open to natural healing modalities, if they're open to using natural type products, like, for example, if you know people who have used essential oils in some way, that's a natural healing process in the body. If they're totally hooked on pharmaceutical drugs and are looking for the next drug to take care of every ache and pain, they might not be your next prospect. That's going to be a good one. So that's just kind of my opinion of what I feel is the easiest way to talk to people. So, Anne, I'm going to kick it back to you.
Thank you, Karen. That was awesome. I'm going to add a couple. I remember from the other business we were in together, they're looking for people who are looking. When people are closed-minded, they're not looking. A couple of times when I don't jump in with LifeWave, it's, for example, I was with a new group of people on Sunday that I wasn't planning to be with. Somebody invited me to something and I went, and I didn't know anybody. But I, of course, was wearing a patch somewhere. There we go. So I have an E on there right now. So I put it on this morning. I wasn't planning to go to this meeting. So now it wasn't like I was trying to be in their face. I just had it on anyway. And we were at a table, and that particular group, I was new. They've been together a while. Nobody said, oh, so what's your story, or something like that, or what do you do for a living, or what's your name even. They just weren't interested. And so I wasn't about to be like, hello, I knew that group at that day was not the time to bring up LifeWave. Even if they would have said, what do you do? Their focus was so much on their mission to get done for the day. So don't bring it up. Another time is in, I go to a water aerobics class. It's really not good to bring it up in the class. So you don't try not to cross things. Later, you can call them later, or like in your dressing room or something, but don't bring it up when somebody else is in charge of a class. It is downright rude to be doing that, to be talking to a class about something, because it's just not good. So that's when you do not bring up LifeWave. So when somebody else has a meeting going on, there's a focus is on something else, we do not want to bring up LifeWave. Also, really try not to say too much, even if they say, so what do you do for a living, or what's new? And you say something like, oh, I have a new company I work for. What is it? Oh, it's my longevity patch, or something, just one of those little lines, and then kind of stop. Don't vomit on them at that point. You're going to turn them off so fast. And so, stop talking, just drop something. And if the people are looking, they're looking. And like Karen mentioned about something that they mentioned and that's going on with their body, yes, then bring it up. But pay attention to body language. Mm-hmm. Listen to their conversation. If they are constantly talking about their illnesses, and then you mention the patches, and they keep going on about their illnesses, they're not going to listen to you. I've been in that situation. I'm like, no, really, this might help you. And they continue to give me their long list of their aches. And then I just I have to be quiet. So I think body language is the main thing we have to watch for. And if what else is going on in the room, is it the right time to bring it up? So
yeah, I mean, that was great. I agree with everything you guys were saying about body language. And I used to vomit up the mouth because I used to get really excited about, I got to tell everybody has to wear a patch. So I literally do, I just kind of wait. If they got a lot of ailments, I'll give them a sample. So sometimes the samples work because they think, oh, you're going to give me one for free? Yeah, I really want you to feel better. Here's my number. I'll check in on you, things like that. Yeah, because I used to try to get them excited about it, and it didn't work.
well, Karen, thank you so much for your insight. Again, we thank you for being on tonight. We make these short and sweet. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thank you.